Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of Flosors World. Hope you're all having a good day. I am standing here on top of my village, not my villager breeder, my chicken breeder and cow breeder thingies. And a long time ago in the episode that I built this, I think, I said that I would add a lot more of these redstone contraptions throughout this jungle in the form of ruined buildings, and inside would would be like a ancient technology that no one really understands right now, but these people that used to live here and somehow vanished, they had access to very powerful technology. But anyways, the lore aspect aside, I'm going to clear this patch of the jungle over here so I can start building the next contraption, and that will be a sugarcane farm. And that will serve me greatly because I still haven't had the opportunity to fly with my elytra since I don't have any rockets, and I also need more paper to trade for mending books. And unfortunately, this guy, believe it or not, he has been on top of that tree since the beginning of this world, but now it's time for him to move, I'm afraid. And I'll get back to you once we have cleared some space. So I've dug out this area over here, and yeah, I'm ready to start building the sugarcane farm design I first saw in a video by Pixel Riffs from Minecraft Survival Guide. It's a very useful channel if you didn't know, to find some redstone farm tutorials or all sorts of other useful things about Minecraft. And yeah, definitely go check that out. And I'm going to start building right now. So this thing is finished. As you can see, I've started decorating it already a little bit. I've made two modules, and each module has 2 rows of 8 sugarcane, and it's like a very classic standard sugarcane farm design. When the sugarcane reaches one of the observers on top, both of rows of pistons will activate, destroying the sugarcane, and also activating the minecart collection system that runs underneath and then drops everything in this chest. So yeah, this will provide us with a very decent amount of sugarcane if we leave this running quietly in the background, which should automatically happen as soon as these chunks are loaded, which will be most of the time, I guess. And I'm also going to connect this place with my chicken and cow breeder, which is just a little bit further on the opposite side of this hill. They are very close to each other, and I think it would be cool if I have like an underground network between my redstone farms. And I will decorate this a little bit more, of course, but right now it's time for something else. And what I'm going to do now is something quite different. I'm going to build a ship. Yes, these explorers that have arrived on the island, they must have arrived with a means of getting here. And since this is an island, I was thinking a ship would be the most logical thing to build. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now. First, I need to do a little bit of terraforming over here, make a nice little beach, maybe some palm trees. And then I'm going to start building that ship. Well, I think this is looking a bit cleaner right now. Don't worry, I'm not gonna leave it naked like this. I am going to decorate it afterwards, but first things first, let's get this ship built. So I decided to try something new and talk you through this time lapse just to give you a better look at my thinking and building process. First of all, I wanted to say that this is actually the first ship that I built in Minecraft, and I didn't have a clue at all on how to start building this thing, and I didn't want to disappoint you. So before, what you're seeing right now were several hours of me looking at ships on the internet and trying to copy them in a creative world, mostly resulting in horrible failures. After the time lapse, I'll maybe show you some footage of that creative world. So after many hours of messing around in creative and a few rage quits later, I finally found a design that looked like a valid ship, after which came several more hours of chopping down trees and shearing sheep and yada. So the hull of the ship right now is coming along nicely, but even after my creative draft, you'll still see me constantly changing the shape of the ship just to get that nice curve going, and that curve where the body of the ship gets bigger in the center and narrower on the ends, and the bottom of the ship is essential for these kinds of 16th, 17th century ships, as well as the shape of the rear end where the captain's cabin is, that kind of sticks out the back. By the way, forgive my poor ship terminology. But anyways, that nice curve is very important and not that easy to replicate in Minecraft. You'll also see me adding some dark oak trims and oak lines and accents here and there just to give a more color contrast and depth to the build. And also using occasional stairs and trapdoors also helps in adding some more detail and variation in the wood textures. And then it's time to decorate the deck. I didn't really know what I could add, so I just went with a bunch of chests, barrels, and such as cargo, but nothing else really. And at this point, I thought I was nearly done, just the masts. I thought it would go quickly, I thought. And that's when I saw some of the pictures of how freakishly many ropes and lines and ropes ladders there actually are on a ship like this. So yes, literally more than half of the wood used on the ship was used in all of these dark oak fences. It was quite crazy, but in the end, well worth it. All of these ropes really give that extra touch of realness, if that's a word. And the only thing is maybe not look at it from too short a distance, because if you focus on the fences, it might get a bit messy. But from long range, as you're seeing right now, I think that looks absolutely amazing. And yeah, I just added also some pointed tips on the tops of the masts, just to give that little bit of extra detail, some things to attach the flags, which will come later on. And then it's about time to start building the sails, and these are up right now because the ship is anchored. I totally forgot to build an anchor, that's right. But I used a mix of wool, dark gray and white wool, and a lot of sheep shearing was involved. And yeah, here I'm still adding more of these ropes using the dark oak fences between all of the masts of the ship. And yeah, I just think it looks very nice. And especially right now when it's becoming nighttime and with all the lights, I think it's looking magical. I love my ship. And we're back. Just look at this. Isn't she pretty? I think this is a very nice looking ship, and let's just make our way into the vessel. I have made a special service entrance here in the bottom just to make it easy on myself, because I kept on falling down into the water and it's quite annoying to get back up. So that's why there's a hole in the bottom of the ship. As you can see, the interior is still completely empty, but I do have plans on filling this up with all kinds of useful stuff. That will be probably for the next episode. But over here we have, yeah, a bunch of stuff. All of these masts look quite impressive when you look at them from below. And here we have the captain's cabin, which I also still need to decorate, but that will happen soon, I think. And over here we have the captain's steering wheel, and this is the closest I could get to a steering wheel in Minecraft. I've saw this once before on a picture or a video on YouTube, but I honestly can't remember the name of the guy who uploaded that. So sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, I think this is it. I am super happy with this ship. I'm absolutely loving it, especially when you're looking from it at a distance. Let's just do that real quickly. Oh yes, from over here on my island, this looks absolutely very impressive. I'm super happy. And with the sun setting, it's time to do one last thing, and that's give this ship a proper name. And I hereby Christian this ship the Rum Runner. There we go. Properly Christianed. It's a fine name for a fine ship. And here in the crow's nest of my highest mast, it's time for me to say goodbye to you all. This episode has been a lot of fun building this ship. I'm super proud of it. I hope you do appreciate all the time and effort that I put into making this build and this video. If you do, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, because yeah, building all of these kind of cool stuff is basically what I will be doing most of the time in this world. So, I thank you very much for watching. My name is Flosor, and I will see you next episode in Flosor's World. Goodbye. Oh yes, and before I forget, let me just show you some of the footage of my creative world where I tested out a bunch of ships, and the first of them, they failed miserably, but then the more I tried and tried and tried again and again, things did actually improve quite drastically. So it's a bit of a cliche, but practice does make perfect, and if you're really committed to building something beautiful, then just try it in creative and again, and in the end you will end up with something you are definitely proud of, like I am right now with this ship. So have a good day, everybody.